We're home. Oh, sweet revenge. Do you see, sisters? My curse worked perfectly. No, that's because...
Bette Midler shares some good news about the progress of Hocus Pocus 3 and some interesting things about her character as well. The 1993 cult classic featuring Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker as a trio of witches resurrected in the 90s by three kids found new life through home release and TV broadcasts after not doing so well in theaters. This success led to a sequel on Disney Plus in 2022. It's been over a year since Hocus Pocus 3 got the green light, so here we have the latest update for you. Recently, Bette Midler talked about how the sequel is coming along during an appearance on the Jess Cagle show. While she didn't spill any details, she did mention that the sequel is still in its early stages. Midler also shared why playing Winnie Sanderson has remained special to her after more than 30 years. Here's her full response. Midler described Winnie Sanderson as the closest character she'll ever get to Shakespeare, noting that Winnie embodies that era. She said she really does put it on, and yet she has all the great things you love in a great villain. She's vicious, she's hilarious, she's ridiculous looking, and she doesn't even realize it. It goes completely over her head. Midler then hinted that there are early, careful discussions about a third movie, adding, "They're talking about a third. The second one was a huge success."
As surprised as we were. And now they're kind of talking about a third, very gingerly and very gently.
Oh my God, Pat.
And they sort of, they're talking about a third. I thought the second one was a huge success.
Well,
So is Bette Midler confirming a Sanderson sister return? It's still unclear whether all the Sanderson sisters will be back after the ending of Hocus Pocus 2. However, Midler is eager to continue playing Winifred for as long as she can. Even though the success of Hocus Pocus 2 wasn't a shock, it's uncertain how a third movie would continue the story for the Sanderson sisters after the Disney Plus sequel. In Hocus Pocus 2, the Sanderson sisters make their return to Salem, but the movie ends quite differently for them compared to the original. Released on Disney Plus just in time for Halloween, the sequel brings back Winifred, Sarah, and Mary after a new black flame candle is lit by local teens Becca and Izzy. This time around, the sisters aren't just after the youth of Salem's children, they're also aiming to cast a powerful spell called the Magicae Maxima, which would make them unstoppable. The movie begins with a flashback to 1653 Salem, Massachusetts, where Reverend Trask banishes 16-year-old Winifred Sanderson for defying church authority by refusing to marry John Pritchett. Not wanting to be separated from her sisters, Mary and Sarah, Winifred takes them to a nearby forest. There they meet Mother Witch, who gifts Winifred a magical book bound in human skin with a living eyeball embedded in the cover for her birthday. Mother Witch warns them not to use the Magicae Maxima spell, which grants immense power and teaches them how to maintain their youth by using children. The sisters then seek revenge on the Reverend by cursing his home, which is consumed by flames. In 2022, 29 years after the Sanderson sisters were resurrected by the Black Flame Candle, local Salem teens Becca and Izzy are getting ready to celebrate Halloween and Becca's 16th birthday. They decline a party invite from their former friend Cassie Trask. The girls visit a magic shop located in the Sandersons' old cottage where the owner, Gilbert, gives Becca a candle for her birthday. Unknown to them, this candle is another black flame candle. Because it's a full moon and both girls are virgins, the candle brings the Sanderson sisters back to life once again. The girls manage to outsmart the sisters at a local Walgreens and escape to the magic shop, where they discover Gilbert had tricked them into reviving the witches. He had seen them on Halloween in 1993 and learned how to make the candle from the spell book. The sisters find the girls and spot a campaign flyer for Mayor Jeffrey Trask, who's Cassie's dad and Reverend Trask's great-grandson. Winifred decides they'll use the Magicae Maxima spell to get rid of him and get back at everyone in modern Salem. They lock Izzy and Becca in the basement and head out to track down the mayor since his blood is needed for the spell. Meanwhile, they make Gilbert gather the rest of the ingredients. The girls manage to escape and head to the Trask house to warn the mayor. Meanwhile, the sisters go to the town's Halloween carnival and use magic to charm the locals into helping them track down the mayor. Gilbert, on the other hand, digs up Billy Butcherson, who's been buried since 1993. He needs Billy's head for the spell, but tricks him into helping gather the other ingredients first. The girls reunite with Cassie and trap the sisters in a salt circle in Cassie's garage just before Mayor Trask gets home. They make up, but their moment is cut short when the sisters break free and kidnap Cassie to use her blood instead. Becca and Izzy follow them to the Forbidden Forest, where Gilbert has gathered all the ingredients, and they discover that Becca, just like the sisters, is a natural witch. The sisters manage to cast part of the spell and boost their power, but Becca distracts them long enough for Izzy to rescue Cassie. Becca convinces the Book that it doesn't have to obey Winifred, so she and Book run deeper into the forest. Book reveals a warning about the Magicae Maxima spell, saying that whoever casts it must sacrifice something they love most for the power. The girls decide to warn Winifred about the spell's cost, but they're too late. Winifred becomes incredibly powerful, and Mary and Sarah turn to dust. Winifred, feeling hopeless, begs the girls to use their new powers to save her sisters. Although they can't save them, Becca, Cassie, and Izzy form a coven and cast a reuniting spell, allowing Winifred to happily fade away and join her sisters. Gilbert and Billy reunite with the girls, but Billy starts to disappear as Winifred's spells are undone. The girls decide to find Book a new home and keep practicing magic, strolling off into the night just like the Sanderson sisters once did. As they leave, a crow flies overhead, looking exactly like the one the Mother Witch shape-shifted into. In a post-credit scene, we see that Gilbert's shop has another black flame candle hidden inside. So now the question is, can the Sanderson sisters return after the Hocus Pocus 2 ending? Well, yes. The Sanderson sisters could technically make a return after Hocus Pocus 2 thanks to the end credit scene revealing another black flame candle. As long as a virgin lights it, the sisters could be resurrected. However, whether they would return is more complex. Despite their villainous deeds, Hocus Pocus 2 portrays the Sanderson sisters, especially Winifred, with a bit of heart. Winifred's realization that losing her sisters is too high a cost for the Magicae Maxima suggests that this might indeed be the end for them. Her contentment in being reunited with Sarah and Mary indicates that their motivation to haunt Salem again might be gone. So while the potential for their return exists, the narrative of Hocus Pocus 2 might be setting up a satisfying conclusion to their story. Winifred's decision to sacrifice her ambitions for the Magicae Maxima to be with Sarah and Mary might not indicate a full reformation. The ending of Hocus Pocus 2 introduces a new trio of witches ready to use Book's spells more positively, and another visit to Salem could potentially give the Sanderson sisters a chance for a comeback, possibly with the knowledge to avoid the Magicae Maxima. Despite their apparent defeat, the ending leaves room for a possible return for another Halloween adventure. Bette Midler, who plays Winifred, is enthusiastic about the role and is engaged with the production's discussions. This suggests that Hocus Pocus 3 might be in the works, with development progressing well enough for the cast to start talking about it. So what do you think? Could the Sanderson sisters really make a comeback in Hocus Pocus 3? Are you excited about the possibility of their return, or do you think their story has reached a satisfying end? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates on the latest movies and shows. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.